Hey there, everyone. I wanted to teach you a little bit of the rules here to get ready for Scattergories. Now, typically in spelling, we will have our pre-test and our final test during the course of the week. Monday being pre-test and Friday, for those who don't pass the pre-test, on Friday. But sometimes what we are going to do when we do not have both a Monday and Friday, we won't have a new spelling unit. But I like to play different kinds of games that also deal with spelling too. So one of my favorite games is this game here, and I'm going to flip right to that here. And it's called Scattergories. Maybe some of you have played this game before. It is a list-making game that can be challenging. Don't worry about spelling here in this one, but what I'd like you to do is do your best to be able to create the categories using the following letter. Now, with Scattergories, what you're going to do is you are going to be handed this sheet right here. So for your teacher who is teaching our class for today, what I'd like you to do is pause the current video, and I'd like you to take a sheet for each of the students that are in class. So please pause the video at this time. Now, like I said, it is a list-making game. So in this list-making game, we have a letter die. There's 20 sides. We'll have a list, and our first list will be this one right here, list number 1. And I'll keep that up here on the screen. But it is a fast-paced game. Now, with Scattergories, your goal is you want to be the only one that chooses a specific name. So if, for example, we had the letter C, you'd want to figure out a boy's name that starts with the letter C, but no one else in the class was thinking of that particular person. Then you write U.S. city, and then you can see the others that are going on here too. Now, to assist, I'll help with our first round here. And our first letter is going to be the letter F. So letter F. So what you can do on your Scattergories path, this is especially for those who've never played before, go on number 1 and go just write F at the beginning of every single line. So, what you're going to do is the video is about to be paused again, and then teacher, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the timer, and the timer is going to have 3 minutes, 1, 2, 3, for you to be able to find all the F's, but are the same, okay? So you have boy's name, U.S. cities, things that are cold, things you don't want in the house, pro sports teams, insects, things in a coffee bar, things you mix up, TV shows, things found in the ocean, kinds of weather, foods that kids hate. Now, if you get stuck on one of these, don't worry, okay? Don't worry. What you want to know is keep going all the way through until you get all of yours, and if the timer runs out, the timer runs out. So, teacher, please pause. All right, everybody. Did everyone get all of them filled out? If you did, oh man, that's amazing because F is a very challenging one. So, as you're scoring, okay, for example, if you had for a boy's name, Fred. Now, if you are the only person who had Fred, awesome. Then you get a point. Now, if someone else had Fred, you and that person cancel each other out and nobody gets a point. Now, it's harder in a game when there is going to be 11, and if your teacher is playing with you, it can be really challenging, but that's kind of how that goes. So, if you had a U.S. city, go through each of those categories to see if you had all those F's. Now, again, if somebody has the same, you cannot share the point. So, teacher, go around the classroom and see who had F's for the boy's name all the way down to foods that kids hate. And then, teacher, please pause. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do just one more round. And we're going to go to list number 2. And we're going to have in list number 2, it's going to be famous females, medicines or drugs, machines, hobbies, acronyms, those are what start letters like NASA, things you plug in, animals, languages, things that grab on your way out the door, junk foods, things that grow, things in an arcade. So if you've never heard of an arcade, go to one. That's where there's a bunch of video games. So let's see what the last round will be. It is the letter D. So again, before you get into that, go all the way for D's from 1 through 12. And teacher, when you are ready, you can pause this video, and everyone, you'll have 3 minutes. All right, how did everybody do on the letter D? Not always an easy one to be able to do. So again, go through each of these, and some of the categories will probably be easier than others. Famous females, I'm not sure too many of those here, but as you go through, and this I forgot for the teacher, if there's one that just does not fit, even though they filled it out, it is teacher's discretion to figure out. Now, with Scattergories, the final count of how many you had for F, how many you had for D, total them up, and see who was the winner for today. Now, for all those that are in class for today, please keep this sheet safe. So what I would encourage you to do, please put this, because we'll come back to this sheet again at some other time of the year, but put it in the red folder. All right, thanks everybody.